Number one killer of Americans is heart disease. And 1/3 of us die of heart attacks. 90% of those heart attacks are caused by cholesterol. Speaking tonight on cholesterol is Bob Williams. Bob Williams, cholesterol.
Dean of a famous medical school was addressing his graduating class, and he said, "Students, congratulations on becoming new doctors, but we have an apology to make. 50% of what we taught you is totally wrong. The only problem is we don't know what 50% it is." Recently, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal, Fat Reconsidered. Now, back in the 50s, there was a big study that said, don't eat red meat, butter, cheese, and other fatty foods. It's going to cause cholesterol. You're going to die from a heart attack. People went back and looked at that study. Guess what? The guy had some preconceived ideas, and he totally made the study come out the way he wanted. He ignored countries like France, Germany, and Switzerland that ate a lot of fat and didn't have a lot of heart attacks. And kind of cherry-picked his data. So when it comes to nutrition, maybe even more than 50% is wrong, and we don't know about it. Well, I became interested in cholesterol when my wife tested high. And so she went, this happened during a medical exam at Kaiser, and the doctor was going to put her on some medication for her cholesterol, but he recommended a book. And since it was doctor recommended, well, it must be good. This is written by Robert Kowalski. He's not a doctor, he's a medical journalist. The poor guy had bad genes. His family had died, many of them in their 50s. When he was 36, he had his first bypass. When he was 41, a heart attack, another bypass. At this point, he had young children, but he also had a lousy lifestyle. Drank, smoked, ate all the wrong foods, no exercise, lots of stress, probably not enough sleep. He started realizing, do I really want to see my children grow up, or do I want to die first? So he decided he was going to do a research in all the literature that had to do with heart attacks. And this is the result. The 8-week cholesterol cure. I'm going to tell you 3 things out of this book that have helped me. And if you'd like to pass that around. The first thing is very simple, oats. Now, even on the package for your cereal, it says it's FDA approved that it lowers cholesterol. And that sounds kind of bogus. How could oats lower your cholesterol? Well, by the way, the reason why the 50 study was so wrong is because your body makes 80% of the cholesterol. So even if you eliminate all the cholesterol out of your diet, that's only going to do 20%. What about the other 80%? That's where the oats come in. The process is like this. Your liver produces bile, which helps you digest fats. It goes into your small intestine, and then the bile, when it's used, it goes back into your body and it gets reprocessed. If you have fiber, like oat bran, and other fibrous foods, that bile gets absorbed there, never gets redigested, goes right on through your body. Then what happens? Your liver said, hey, we need more cholesterol. Where are we going to get it? Guess what? Right out of the blood. So it lowers your blood cholesterol by making more cholesterol. It can lower your cholesterol quite a bit that way. When I started doing this, I tested for cholesterol as well because I got worried when my wife was high. And I was 210, which isn't too bad, but it's a little bit high. So I started eating oats. Next time I got tested, I was down to 160. It was easy to do. Now I eat oats every morning, and I hate oatmeal, so I eat my oats just raw with raisins and some other stuff in it, applesauce, oat bran, milk, and yogurt. And it's kind of bland, but I don't mind eating. I'm so in the habit of eating it now that it just comes naturally. So oats can be very helpful. There's no downside to it. There's no after effect or anything that's going to hurt you. And then there's another thing that you can do. And I'm probably not saying this word right, cholesterols. And this is a vegetable product. And it has the chemistry almost of cholesterol. There's just a little, if you look at the diagram, there's very, very little difference between this and cholesterol. You're supposed to pop one of these before you eat a meal that has the high cholesterol that you want, like your Spam and your big hamburgers, Doug. And then it goes down there and it gets into your small intestine, and there's only certain receptacles that will digest cholesterol. This guy plugs them all up. So when the cholesterol comes, it is right on through. And after a while, your body says, hey, you're not cholesterol, what am I going to do with you? And spits it back out. No downside to this either. Then the final thing is something called slow niacin. And this is like a vitamin B3. And I've taken this, and my big problem with both the pills is I forget to take them. That's the good thing about oatmeal. I always remember to eat, I always forget to take pills. Well, what this does, it causes your liver to not produce as much bad cholesterol and kind of encourages the good cholesterol, among a lot of other things. The negative side of this is you probably need to go see your doctor before you start taking it, because it can have adverse effects on your liver if you have liver problems. And I experienced a bit of a flush, which means you feel your face blushes like you're kind of red a little bit, but to me, I didn't really mind that at all. And after I reread that chapter for this speech, I thought, boy, I'm missing something. I got to start taking this stuff again, so I'm going to try to do that. So those three things, the oats, the cholesterols, and the niacin, and I think you could probably get by with not having to take medication. In fact, in the book, he quotes one of the leading doctors that's saying that the only reason why you don't hear about niacin is because no drug company can make any money off of it. You can just buy it in the drugstore. If it was something else, they'd publish it, the doctors would all know about it, and everybody would be happy to have it. But since it's kind of under the radar, something you have to kind of research for yourself. And our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating. Funeral marches to the grave. Let's postpone that funeral as long as we can.